Hi Conscious Dishers, Christina here today. Thank you so much for joining me. Today I am going to answer the question why I became vegan. So let me tell you a little bit about my upbringing. I grew up in rural Vermont and I was surrounded by lots of farms. I had dogs, cats, rabbits, hamsters, rats, hermit crabs, horses, and they were really some of my most fondest memories and best friends. I remember from a very young age, I used to take old coffee cans and ask my friends and family during the holidays to see if they would donate a few dollars so I could help either save a manatee, a wolf, a turtle, or an acre of the rainforest. So my activism really started at a young age, and I knew that I needed to help these innocent beings. And I also remember in middle school, we were asked to dissect frogs, and I cut class, not frogs. I know that's a really famous PETA saying, but it's true. I couldn't support it. And I remember in 8th grade, we were asked to write a speech, and most of the students wrote about their fondest memory with either like a grandparent or the most amazing birthday gift they ever received. And I contacted PETA. This was like before the internet started getting really big, okay? So I did all my own research and I got pictures and handouts and all about animal testing and vivisection. And if you can imagine 8th graders and their face when they saw what happened to these poor animals just for cosmetic or research reasons. So I think that that was definitely a good jumping off point for me to really start my activism and be outspoken about why I feel so passionate about helping animals. And I think when I was about 11 years old, the movie Babe came out, and I'm sure a lot of you remember that movie. At the very beginning, Babe is separated from his mother, who is going to be sent to slaughter. And I remember just bawling my eyes out, and I never really had asked the question, like, where does this meat come from? Where is this hamburger? And really putting a face to the food. I think as a young age, you kind of just eat what your parents give you and you don't really, rebuttal against it. As long as they weren't vegetables. But anyway, so it was just one of those things that I felt like I saw that and I took a stance. I said, I'm not going to eat any more like beef or lamb or any of this food anymore. And so I became vegetarian. I didn't even know what the word vegan was. I mean, I was 11 years old. So I lived that lifestyle, and in college I kind of dabbled back into like that lifestyle where I was eating like those quick food like Domino's pizzas. Sometimes they had pepperoni on them, and I knew when I ate it how guilty I felt, and I questioned myself, like, why am I doing this? And it wasn't really until a few years ago when I started doing more research and there was more things coming up about the vegan lifestyle that I really began to question what I was consuming in my body, especially like the cheese and milk products. So I saw the movie Earthlings, which I know is like the vegan changer, and it really was. When I saw that movie, and I think one of the most horrifying scenes were in India, where they take the cows across the border to slaughter them, and they are dehydrated, starved to death, and travel hundreds of miles, when their skin is like literally falling off their body so you can get that buttery soft leather for your purses. Or if it is, taking baby dolphins away from their mothers in Taiji, Japan, or either slaughtering them for dolphin steak or capturing the ones that they deem trainable and then take them to places like SeaWorld or aquariums so people watch. And they're forced to perform these tricks for you for entertainment. Or if it was in China where they're slaughtering and electric prodding or drowning dogs and cats for fur collars. Yeah, dogs and cats. Not that there's even a difference between a dog or a cat, between a raccoon and a mink, really, but for some reason that hits home with more people because most of us have had dogs as pets. But anyway, It was such an amazing documentary. The music was incredible. It was by a vegan activist, Moby, and the images were just so profound. I mean, I was literally like looking at the video like this, and my mascara was running everywhere. I was bawling, and I was just in utter shock. And as soon as that documentary was done, I said, that's it. I'm done. I'm becoming vegan. Now, granted, none of my friends were vegan. None of my family was vegan or vegetarian. So it was definitely something where it was a big jump for me. And I was like, that's it. I went through my closet. I ripped out all the leather, the silk, the wool, all those things, and I either donated them to homeless shelters or Goodwill, or I sold some of it and then donated it back to rescues. And I know some people that are, you know, in between that like vegan stage, and they'll be vegan when they eat, but they'll still wear leather. I just couldn't condone that anymore. And it's pretty much like me wearing items and telling other people that I agree with that and that this is okay to wear that. And I know some environmentalists say, well, it's more strain on resources for buying new clothes, but again, I go back to that point, is like, I don't even want to wear another animal's skin. It just disgusts me. So I, you know, got some new wardrobe, and I do a lot of actually shopping at, you know, smaller local stores or thrift stores to try to save money and also save on resources. So anyway, and I just have to tell you how great I felt when I made that change. And it was a huge step, of course, becoming vegan, but at the same time, it was so liberating because I finally felt like this is like the largest decision I've ever done for animals. And there's some statistics that you save over 100 animals a year becoming vegan, and just to know that and to feel that and be okay by thriving on plants and fruits and nuts and seeds and feeling great. Growing up, I definitely had dairy intolerance, and in the job I work at now, there is such a large percentage of people's health problems really stem from inflammatory diseases and mucus forming foods. One of the largest is dairy, and we see that in a lot of the food allergy tests that we perform. And dairy is definitely a huge allergen. I mean, we're not supposed to be eating or consuming another animal's milk. It really makes no sense. So I felt great eliminating that out of my diet. And I think now there's so many amazing restaurants and food choices, even at a conventional grocery store, that you can still be vegan and not have to be too concerned about what you're eating. A great company that came out, Gardein, their products pretty much taste like meat. For people that are in that transitory phase, I don't necessarily agree that we should be eating a lot of processed foods, but if someone's going from a standard American diet to becoming vegan, those are definitely good foods. Or if you're vegan for a long time, you can enjoy them on occasion. I still advocate very high raw and whole food vegan diets. But those are amazing choices. There's Daiya cheese, which is incredible, and I'll talk about that in other videos as well. But there's endless choices, and for me, it was an easy choice. I will also in another video talk about how it is socially, because I know that those are some concerns, but this video is more so about why I became vegan. And I just felt like there was so much that I could say by making this choice, and I felt so empowered by it. And I had got to a point where I had to eliminate all of that to really be the activist that I wanted to be. And on top of everything else, I think we're living in the best age possible for veganism. I mean, there's so many incredible documentaries coming out, whether it's Food Inc., Forks Over Knives, Vegucated, Earthlings, and also talking about the health benefits behind that, and how amazing you feel when you eliminate, like I said, dairy and meat. There are so many reasons why we shouldn't be consuming meat, and I know for the majority of the population, by eating a vegan diet, it can not only eradicate but also help prevent a lot of chronic disease. So there's so many different reasons for so many different people. For me, of course, it was the animals, but then after being vegan and realizing not only losing weight and feeling better about my decisions, it's definitely something that I hope that you will embark with for yourself. And it's such an easier road now. And of course, you have support from me and other people in the vegan community. If you ever have any questions, please ask questions below. I will be happy to answer it. I like to mentor some of my friends that are attempting to live that lifestyle. This diet really benefits everyone. It not only benefits you, the animals, and the environment, but it benefits others as well, because living this lifestyle also perpetuates the positive energy that we need to actually make the change that we want to see in the world. Thank you so much for joining me today, and until next time.